4:44. I say we're starting in divine timing. I see our guest is in the building. Hi, Zen. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Tuesday's tea. Tuesday's tea. Tuesday's tea. We're going to allow for a few more people to get into the room. If you have a second, go tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that Tuesday's tea is on. Tuesday's tea is on. And we have a very special guest in the building. Okay. What's in your room? Tuesday's tea. What's in your room? Tuesday's tea. What's in your room? Tuesday's tea. What's in your room? We're just waiting for our guests to jump back in the room. For whatever reason, it's not allowing me to send her a request. So we're going to allow for a few more minutes. Tuesday's tea. Welcome to the sanctuary, everybody. Tuesday's tea. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome to the sanctuary. Hello to everybody coming in the room. Hello to everybody coming in the room. Tuesday's tea. Tuesday's tea. Shout out to Jazzy Music Geek for our phenomenal theme song over here at the sanctuary. We love it. Y'all love it. And we just appreciate you so much, Jazz. Okay, today I believe she's singing at a basketball game. Y'all know I don't follow basketball for the New York Liberty. Okay, Jazz. So our theme song maker, okay, is singing today at the Liberty Jazz basketball game. And so we are so excited for her. And we send her so much love. And we thank you for our theme song. I'm going to fade us out, y'all, like we always do. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us here at the sanctuary. Hold on, let me see if, okay, our special guest will be right back, she said. And so that's fine. Hello to everybody, and hello to everybody who will watch the playback. Welcome to the sanctuary. My name is Brew Monera Holland Bay.
And I'm Akira Inside Holland out. I missed the prompt. I'm sitting here trying to read. Hold on, I'm sitting here reading the chat to the comments. My bad.
Okay, guys. A lot of you guys are used to seeing me the most here at the sanctuary, but this is the other half of Holland Spices and More, also known as Holland Spices, the Herbal Sanctuary. This is the lovely Mrs. Holland. Thank you guys for taking the time to join us today, and welcome to Tuesday's Tea. Okay, we're so excited to have you guys. Last week, our Tuesday's Tea was abruptly canceled. And so we are so excited and so grateful that Zen, Coach Zen, one of our favorite life coaches, was able to rejoin us today here at the sanctuary for our favorite episodes. That's the same thing that I saw, Zen, that was happening. Let me try sending it again, Zen. Let me see what happens. I sent this in. Let me know if it comes through.
Woo! Okay.
Hold on. Let me adjust that. Hold on. All right. I'll be right back.
Yes. Are we in retrograde?
That's right. But we are live.
We are live. Okay.
Okay, there we go. I just had to adjust us a little bit. Hello, Zen.
Hello.
I think I got to adjust us a little bit more. Hold on, everybody.
Yes.
Technical difficulties. No, I have to bring this up some.
I mean, I'm not that tall.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
I think that's, yeah, I can see your head.
Yeah, it is kind of high.
I mean, it doesn't have to be lower than that, though. It doesn't have to be much lower. That's fine.
Well, only because you can't see our head, so I just wanted to make sure.
That's actually perfect. All right.
Hello, Sanctuary family. Please forgive us
Back at it.
as we try and make some adjustments over here at the Sanctuary. Hello to one of our favorite life coaches, Zen. Okay. We thank you for joining us here at the Sanctuary today. On this episode of Tuesday's Tea. We truly, truly appreciate you. Before we jump in, we have to ask you the famous question, Star. What's in your brew? Tell us what you're drinking on. Tell us how it's been serving you, how it's been helping you through whatever transition of life that you're in right now. Let us know what you're sipping on and what you're drinking. And those of you who may be sipping on your own brews that are here with us live, let us know in the comment section what you're sipping on, how it's been helping you in your journey, whether it be most recently or just over time. Let us know what you're drinking. What's in your brews, Zen?
So in my let me first start with what I wish was in my brew was my preservation tea that I just ran out of. Okay, all the way to the shake of the tea.
Then we'll make sure that's what we said.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's what we'll say. Yes.
Yes, that's my favorite. But what I have in here right now is black cherry tea. Which I love. Black cherry tea is amazing. I'm a Libra. It's good for Libras. It really helps to balance us and calm down our minds. Right? Because our gears are always turning. We're always thinking. So I got to start my morning out. I actually mix them. I put the preservation with the black cherry. That's normally what I do.
Oh, yeah. So you ran out. That's it. Now, do you have any preservation in there or no? You're done.
None. I use it all the way to the shake. Like the bag is clean.
That's right. The shake. Listen. Don't waste. No wasting. Don't waste anything. Very good.
Okay, very good.
Well, we're sipping on. Well, you can tell them what we're sipping on.
Okay, so we are sipping on, because I always introduce our teas on Tuesday's Tea. But what we are sipping on here at the Sanctuary today is our Intimate Tea Brew. Our Intimate Tea Brew dropped on the website around last year, around my birthday. Those of you who were able to catch our birthday sex collection that we dropped around my birthday last year, the Intimate Tea Brew was a part of that collection. But everyone loved the tea so much that we decided to just make it just a staple, one of our tea brews that you guys can find on the website whenever you go shopping. And so what I love about our Intimate Tea Brew is that it really is set with the intention, and not just with the thought, but really with the herbs, and really dealing with the essence of intimacy, really connecting us back to intimacy, not only with your mates, but the intimacy that really matters the most, which is the intimacy with yourself. And so the Intimacy Tea Brew that dropped in the birthday sex collection was really all about rebuilding intimacy, the rebuilding of intimacy, the rebirthing of intimacy. And it wasn't only something that you needed, that you could tap into on your birthday. It was something that you could share with your partner. Maybe you find that the intimacy is lacking in your relationships. Maybe you find that the intimacy is lacking that you have with yourself. I encourage you guys to go on to www.hollandspices.com and to really try out our Intimate Tea Brew, because it's really one of the most perfect tea brews that you can really be sipping on right now. And it's honestly so sexy. If sexy had a flavor, it will most certainly be our Intimate Tea Brew. Don't you think?
Ooh.
I think so too. So that's what we're sipping on. My birthday is coming up next week. A lot of my friends are coming in town tomorrow. And so I'm definitely all in the energy of building intimacy with the people that are around me, rebuilding intimacy with my wife, establishing intimacy. So this is honestly just a perfect tea brew for you guys to be sipping on right now. Okay?
Yes.
And so my Zen, I would love for you to take a moment and to tell us who you are. Introduce yourself.
Yes, so my name is Zen. I am a professional certified life coach, which is basically a wellness professional in intentional living and purposeful living and trauma recovery. So I basically spark your pathway in providing the support that you need to achieve long lasting change through identifying your blind spots, strengthening your resiliency, having you discover self so you can live in your divinity, and also strengthening your resiliency from the ebbs and flows that happen in life that get us misaligned, right? To restore that realignment. And I also have a podcast who the Hollands were on with my co-host Kai. Check out that episode. It is called Knowing Thy True Self with the Hollands. It was epic. I actually want y'all to come back this year. We'll talk about that off screen.
Absolutely. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. My Attila, Mrs. Holland, also has an introduction that she is going to read on you.
I was going to read the bio again, but I think most people have read the bio.
No, but read it. We're going to honor our guests. I think
want to give you
a beautiful bio. And so
thank you.
Topic two. And then I'm done.
All right. You gonna let me go?
Yeah.
All right. So today's topic that we're discussing today is transforming with intention, the spiritual power of life coaching.
Yes.
And here today at the sanctuary we have Zen from the Verbs podcast. Zen is a professional certified life coach who specializes in intentional living, purposeful living, and trauma recovery. A legal female rooted in spirituality and passionate about helping you to live a balanced life and owning your natural God-given power to live the life that you were created for. I love that. Zen identifies herself as the relatable life coach. I love that. Because there's probably some that aren't relatable, which I don't understand why they would be out there. Zen is also the facilitator for the Black Girls Can Heal Incorporated Georgia Atlanta chapter, leading a support wellness workshop of women in breaking the cycle by shifting their generational narratives of dysfunction such as the negative self-talk, addictions, negative mindset, trauma, racism, self-sabotaging ways, and much more. Zen's life verb: always remember to keep your soul hydrated and your spirit fortified. That is beautiful. I love that. So tell me, what is a life verb? I mean, this is something that, well, I know what it is because you had to tell us because we had to create one and we came on your show. Yeah. But tell everybody else who may not be familiar, what is a life verb and why everyone should probably have one.
Yeah, so a life verb is a trademark phrase that I created, and it is your philosophy that is obtained through your personal life experiences. Think of a life verb as the hook to the theme song of your life, something that you truly live by, right? Something that guides you.
I love that.
Yes.
To your favorite thing, yes. to your favorite song. I love it.
And why is it so important? Why was it so important for you to create what you call a life verb? How did it come into play, and why did it take such precedence in your life?
You know, a life verb also means living in action. And when I was thinking of a name, I wanted something unique and I wanted something that really resonated. And I love words, right? My favorite book is the thesaurus. Like I'm constantly looking in the thesaurus, and I love verbs and I love adjectives, right? Action and description. And I wanted what I do because I'm a life coach. I'm like, okay, how could this? I'm like, life verbs. And when I looked up, we know the meanings of words, right? Mm-hmm. But oftentimes we toss words around so much that we forget what its true definition is. So when I went back, and I do that often to see the true essence and definition of life and a verb, I just married them together.
Because it made sense.
I love
that.
Yeah. Because it made sense.
Yeah.
I love that, and especially the thesaurus part, because that was one of the things that Akela shared with me growing up. That was one of her favorite books to read.
Dictionaries, thesaurus, and encyclopedia. That is what I was searching for knowledge. That's basically what I was, you know what I mean? That's what I was doing.
Definitely.
So Zen, how do you incorporate your spiritual practices into your life coaching? And how are you able to navigate the different spiritual mediums that people can find themselves on, especially as it relates to religious belief? How do you find yourself navigating those waters while also giving effective, practical ways and spiritual practices that maybe some people may not be used to?
Definitely. Well, I first start with my clients. All my clients have a 1 hour free consultation. And that consultation is really for us to get to know each other, to make sure we're a great fit. And in that consultation, I go over my structure, right? And I always set the precedence with my beliefs, which I do believe in God. I believe in higher power, the source, right? But I don't believe in institutionalized religion. Right? I don't believe, because that's very man-made. And I make sure to set that precedence first. And with that precedence, I say that so that they know we are on a spiritual journey. I'm here because I'm deep rooted in spirituality to guide you also on a spiritual journey for you to truly heal. Because oftentimes institutionalized religion, right, can be the very thing, right, that blocks us from truth. Because we're living in this fog, right? We're living in this matrix, and I need you to identify. I need to let you know who I am and what I'm about to lead you into and guide you in, so that you can open your eyes, so you can take off the rose-colored glasses, right? And truly find, because I truly believe a relationship with the source is on an individual basis. Right? You have to have your own relationship with the source. You can't go by because what this pastor's saying over here and this monk is saying over here may not be for you. So that's why you got to be in tune with the source. And I have opened up so much because of that, utilizing spiritual tools, for instance, such as, y'all know I got them right here. Okay, my Hollands. Okay, I put everybody onto Holland spices. I actually utilize these in my self-care kits for my clients. They can also purchase this. This is your amazing divinity salt bath. And what I do with my clients, it comes in the 7th and the 12-month plan. I literally have a moment of intention with them. And Rue, I learned that from you.
Oh, yay.
Because during a live that you did when we were speaking intentions, right, over the salt baths and over, I believe it was the goddess lamps, right? I learned that from you. And I literally take this when they receive it, their next session, I say, open it up. Rub it in your hands, right? Feel it. Just like Ruth says, feel it. Become one with that. Because when I did it that night, oh my gosh, it was so awakening for me. And then I say, now we're going to speak intention. And we do this breathing exercise and I count down. I said, okay, in 3, 2, 1, when you're ready, flow. Flow with your intention. Yes. So to activate it. And this is the divinity salt bath that I put with theirs. So yeah, that's what I do. Everything that comes in the box. Yes.
What else is in this box that you're talking about? I know you have a little bit of our stuff, but what else you got?
Yes, I do.
People, I mean, let's just talk about that for a second, and then we can get back into the questions. I don't want to.
Definitely. No, definitely. Thank you for allowing me to share. I also have these resiliency candles. Okay. This is actually from Shohan. It's at Shohan. These are aromatherapy candles. So purpose, balance, peak frankincense. So what I do is we speak intention over the salt bath. We also speak intention over the candle and we light it to ignite that intention.
Ooh.
Right? Because I tell them, I'm like, I don't want it to be just your regular candle that you just light when you want to. No, take it in to remind yourself, right, of that intention. And every time you light it, you're igniting that intention. Yes.
What I love the most about what you're doing, though, and then you'll jump right back in. I love also that you're highlighting and taking the moment to highlight other small Black businesses that you're affiliated with, because it really shows the power in numbers, and it really shows the unity that we can absolutely have as a collective, helping us to move away from the idea that it's not enough for all of us to win. And so I love that. Go ahead, jump back in.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much. And that was just want to touch on that really quick. And that was my purpose, right? My purpose, because I was on a search myself. I'm like, I'm sick and tired of giving. Everything I do is with intention and purpose. So I'm like, I'm sick and tired of basically giving my dollars, right, to $1 million companies that are already making it, right? Why not do a vertical, right, and put that money back into my community, right, and help the brands that I literally, everything I'm showing you in this box, you all, this is literally how I self-care. And why not share that? Because it's been so essential in my life with others, right? So that's why I did that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we call them, well, I call them, at my job, we call them known quantities. Like, things that you know, and you know what I'm saying, you kind of swear by it, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we call them known quantities. Okay. It's so formal, but you know what I mean?
It works. It is. I love that. It is formal. Okay.
For those of you who are technical out there, okay, yes. Okay, and who understand technical talk. And that's so I love that. So in your search for the products that you wanted to use in your self-care box, why is intention so important to you and your clients? And how have you seen the effects of incorporating intention and being mindful about intentional practice? How have you seen the changes in your practice?
For me, intention is essential, because if you are not living your life with intention, you're just existing, right? You're not living. And I truly believe when you live with intention, you are very conscious of the decisions that you make, right? Which ultimately affect your present, and it's going to affect your future. Okay. When you live with intention, you're also living in a posture of surrender, right? Allowing manifestation, right, to come and to be, and speaking those things into existence. It tripped me out, y'all. I was digging deeper into my natal chart, and I got tripped out the other day because my Mercury is in Scorpio and I'm a Pisces rising. Right? And Pisces risings are very rare. And I didn't know that. And within those things, there's a lot of manifestation. I have a lot of manifestation power. So I said to myself, I have to live with the intent, right? I can't just exist. You got to truly live. You're here for a reason, right? You're not a mistake.
Yes.
You're not a consequence, right? You are here for a reason. Therefore, living with intention has changed my whole entire life. Because instead of going with the flow and just living life day by day by day, no, I got to be calculated. I got to be strategic. I got to be intentional in everything that I do. To
almost
receive,
like your steps being ordered. Like they say, your steps are ordered.
What has been your biggest challenge in trying to get, I guess, some of your clients to see that, like to get to that place, you know what I mean, where you found yourself in?
Definitely. Getting them past the limited beliefs
That
and the
organized
false
religion you were touching on earlier. A lot of it is it around the organized religion for the most part? You find
around the organ.
any
Yeah.
harder than others? I mean, I'm assuming you deal with all sorts of right the
Yes.
backgrounds, right? Are any
Yeah.
harder than the others? I mean, or are they all essentially just the same?
Some are, for me, it's more so when it comes to the institutionalized religion of Christianity,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Those are a little bit harder.
Okay.
Because they can't move past just the conditioning. The conditioning. Also, just the conditioning as well of us just as women, right? With these society norms, right? And especially as Black women, right? Women of color, we got to be strong. That's the hardest. We got to hold everything. No, Zen, you just don't get it. I am the backbone. Yeah, but the backbone's is going to break.
Yes. Yes.
If the backbone does not put thyself in first place.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's the conditioning. I think that we're really, because I know I grew up in church. So coming up in church so heavily, there really wasn't anything outside of that. Like there wasn't anything outside of Jesus. And now when I started having my spiritual awakening, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, really the notion of finding God in everything is really what I believe sparked my mission of becoming conscious, to coming back into remembrance of who I was, what my mission was, and all of that good stuff. That was one of the final messages that I think we walked away from church with, because she, made the conscious effort to go back on behalf of me, because that was my roots, And I think
even though I'm a PK, because you already know
she's a PK.
Before,
yeah, PK to PK.
Akila is a PK.
I never quite related to that. That was to me was always something that everyone else was doing, right? Like that's just how it was, because I was like that. It was just something that I had to do because everybody else was doing in my family.
That's good.
Right? You know what I mean? But I didn't
have any connection.
No, not never.
And I was the opposite. Like that was my connection. You understand what I'm saying? So just her being willing to take that journey with me until I found, like you said, clearing from out of the fog. And once that fog cleared, the only person that was really standing there is myself. You understand what I'm saying? And then everything that's come after that has truly validated that notion that you are the I am, when they say that in the Bible. And I think now Spirit has us at a point to where we're undoing. And I almost don't even want to use the word undoing anymore, more than transmuting and learning to transmute that energy. And it's going to be very difficult for Christians coming out of that world to be able to view the world in a different way without a new understanding and perception of everything that they grew up in. And so I know that that's one of my missions in reteaching the Bible, even reteaching gospel music, because I don't think that the issue was more so the place and where we were, or the act and what we were doing, more so than being asleep while working conjure, right? Being completely asleep while working conjure. And I think once we come back, especially melanated beings, once we come back into the awareness that we worked conjure before we worked a deity, the two will connect again. But I think that we're getting there.
And what I love too about you all and Holland Spices is that you're really teaching how to be one with the earth again. Right? It was such, the earth is such a divine gift, everything within it, from the stones to the crystals to the herbs to the minerals. That's where our nourishment lies. That's where our healing lies. And I just love it. Like I said, wealth is in my chart. It's coming to me. It's pouring forth. And when it comes, I'm going to have Holland Spices all up in my house. Okay.
Listen, I keep telling people I'm hell bent okay, on making Holland spices a national
Yes.
household name, and we will be that, okay? And so,
Yes.
as we delve deeper into conversation, I want you to tell us what sparked your mission specifically to help heal the land. What transpired in your own journey that allowed you to see the needs that needed to be met in the world?
Definitely. You know, I have a lot of trauma. I have went through a lot of trauma, from emotional abuse to physical abuse to having a string of deaths in 1 year in my family to a cousin being in the streets when he got out of prison getting killed by those people that he was in the streets with, from dealing with someone very close to me that has mental health, right? Due to the trauma that they went through. I mean, that's just to name a few, you know. Um, I've been through a lot, and I've had a lot of therapy. I've had a lot of psychology, right? I've had the doctor try to put me on medication. I'm not deterring anybody. If you're on medication, you know, I'm not deterring, but I'm not putting, first of all, you're not going to sit up here. You're not going to diagnose me, right, with something for me to put a chemical into my body for me to become dependent on.
Correct.
I know that my healing for this is in the herbs,
Ooh.
right? Because the source created the herbs.
Come on.
Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. And in the therapy and everything, there was a situation where I encountered some sexual violence. Okay, and in that, my friend had left me by myself. It's a long story. Even after it happened, they didn't believe me. So I was by myself in the hospital room, right, with the police officer, filling out this report. And they said, we have advocates. I didn't know what an advocate was, but I'm like, anybody who can be here and sit here with me so I don't have to go through this alone and help me process it. And she went through with me even through the trial. She sat on the podium, you all, in the trial with me. And I said, I want to be this for people. Now that I've experienced this, on top of everything else, I want to be this for people. Right? Then, you know, I was in my 20s at that time. States have free resources where you can talk to counselors and stuff because I couldn't afford a psychologist, right? When I went to psychologist, that was paid for through my parents, right? Insurance. Okay, let's be honest.
Listen, get it how you live it, okay? Get it how you can.
Get how you live. So every state I moved to, I was utilizing that resource,
Right.
okay?
Yes.
And when I arrived in Georgia, out of all the places that I've been, this in particular counselor tells me you need to go to trauma group. Ooh, and I got defensive. My pride and my ego raged like a fire. Well, I don't need that. Nothing's wrong with me.
Come on.
Right? I'm not going to do that. But it turned out, because I respected her, and she was a sister, let's just be honest, and I respected her so much, I was like, okay, maybe I need to listen, right? And be coachable and be a student right now. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And that truly was my release to get into life coaching, because there were so many things when I was sitting with those other group of women that I knew that they did not know. And I said, I got to help.
Yeah.
Right? And then it was revealed to me, Zen, the whole reason why you went through all the trauma you went through was to help others through it in a holistic manner.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what sparked it.
And you know what I take away the most in that story is how the universe will make you an example in order to meet the need. Right? And most of our journeys here, especially when they're super difficult, many of the times has nothing to do with us, and has everything to do with the people that we're going to encounter. And it reminds me of the story of when Isis met Serket, who was the scorpion Egyptian deity here, during another time. And when Isis' husband was killed and his body was separated and placed into different parts of the world, Isis had to come down from off of her throne, which was, the ethers in a sense, out of the spirit world, and to go into the earth. And she didn't go into the earth in royalty. She went into the earth as a poor woman, and she struggled, and she was a beggar, and her life support depended on the people that she was going to encounter, hoping that they met her with compassion, right? And she met two women specifically. The first one didn't give her compassion or show her compassion, but she had a protector in the woods. And when Serket saw what happened, Serket made the woman's son sick, because Serket was in the woods protecting Isis' most prized possession, which was her son, right? And so when Serket made the woman's son sick, Isis saw that. And you know what she did? Instead of looking at that woman and saying, "I'm going to be with you, what you were for me, because you don't understand. You didn't understand where I was coming from." So Isis had compassion and showed compassion, so much that she went to the woman and healed her son so that he didn't die. Wow. And in turn, that changed the woman's heart and turned the woman's heart. And I say that to say that your journey, even though you were alone, it really taught the people who didn't stand by you in the moment the biggest lesson. Yes. Because I guarantee you the feeling that you brought to their lives, I can almost guarantee that they feel the void of you now. Yeah. And out of your journey, out of your pain, Spirit made you the example in order for you to provide the solution.
Ooh.
So, that was good, babe.
Well, that's a whole word.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm taking that all in. That's wow. Woo.
She's good for it. Oh no, you got the I think we just had the
looking at our questions in.
Yes.
We were trying to keep it. We were trying to keep it organic and everything like that. You know what I mean? Try not to have too many questions, because that's kind of like how we normally flow. You know what I'm saying? Normally, but yeah.
I have one more question though.
Yeah.
How has the intention of you becoming a life coach transformed your own life, your own interpersonal life? How has that transformed your journey and brought you to where you are today, being able to meet the needy?
That's such a great question. Life coaching truly has helped me to live authentically. It's helped me to live in my true self. It's been the launch pad to propel me forward in my life. And knowing that I am helping others get unstuck, find their blind spots, get realigned, self-discoveries, just completely doing a total transformation. It blesses my spirit so much. And it feeds my soul so much. So many people tell me, they're like, "Zen, how do you do it? You're listening to people's situations. Is it that overwhelming? Is it that daunting? Like this big dark cloud is hovering all over you?" No, because I'm in purpose.
Come on.
It lifts me up.
Yes, I heard position while you were talking. I'm in position. She's in position. So the fact that she said that I'm in purpose, I share.
Yes, facts. I'm in position, and this is what I'm meant to do. It nourishes me to hear what's going on, right? To be able to help you, right? I'm here because so many times we have people in our lives, right, who they get sick and tired of hearing what's going on with us. They get sick and tired of hearing our story, right? They're biased. They have their own opinions. of what's going on. So it helps to have somebody who can coach you in life. And it helps to have somebody who does not know you, who's not sitting here having dinner with you, walking next to you hand in hand, who's unbiased. Right?
You need objectivity.
That, exactly.
You gotta have
exactly. You gotta have that.
No judgment, no just safe space, all of that stuff to make sure that the person feels like, you know, that's why you're the relatable life coach, though, right?
Yeah. Exactly, because I've been through it, and I still go through things. I just had a trigger last week.
Come on, and I think people assume that because we are in spiritual work and because we work on behalf of the people, that we don't still get triggers. And I think that that's when our spiritual lives and spiritual practices are really tested the most. Because I think when you're doing the work of spirit, I think people are more inclined to try you because they're under the impression that you have to respond in a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And another reason I got into this is because I was reading somewhere, don't quote me exactly, but the percentage is very close. When it came to life coaching, only 8% of African Americans are in life coaching. The predominant race.
There's a deficit of sorts in our demographic specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
And I think that that's one of the things that really inspired us to also get into position to be able to bring these healing modalities that other cultures have been utilizing for centuries. And the only, spiritual or healing modalities that we've been given as melanated people is a Bible and to pray about it. And that's not good enough anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's not good enough. So I know that I know you talked really briefly about Holland Spices and Divinity being a part of your self-care box that you provide to your clients. I know when me and you were talking in our DM, we wanted to talk really briefly about how specifically and in what ways have you seen change and transformation as it relates to using Holland Spices spiritual tools, specifically Divinity, since that's what you're working with in its most closest form.
So actually, is it okay if I speak on the regeneration?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
That
is what you actually use yourself, right? So
yes, and I use the Divinity too. But y'all, I gotta talk about this.
Yeah, let's go.
The shedding that came with this. It was painful, okay? It wasn't easy, but I am so glad that it happened because when I got onto the other side of it, the abundance that came towards my life was truly transformational. I literally got this at the right time. And I was bathing in it as an empress. I was taking the loofah and I was pouring it because what I love to mix is I love to mix your salt bath with my bath steamers. Yes. That's the most heavenly spiritual bath I've ever beheld. And I'm listening to NDIRE. I am light. Yes. I'm taking the loofah and I'm taking the water and I'm like a child again, yes. Playing in the water, bathing all up in it. And after that, this shedding came. Yes. The breaking down of structure, right, in my life, things that were no longer serving me. And it was literally like the source was putting the writing on the wall for me, right? And it, like I said, it was tough, but there's beauty within the pain, right? Uncomfortable places can be quite beautiful. Renee Biddy says that. And that's what happened with me. So now I'm in a much better place. So if you just really need some change, some regeneration, some rejuvenation, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. And sometimes, honestly, y'all, I love this so much. I just play with it in my hands because I love that smell.
Mm-hmm. And salt is purifying and cleansing, and that's one of the reasons why we teach art of ritual over here, and why we don't give specific ways and how to use these spiritual tools, because once they get into your hands, if you are truly aligned with yourself, Spirit is going to tell you in your own way and how to use and how to work with these products. All we do is Spirit gives us the intention, we create and produce the tool, and then we send it out and allow Spirit to do the rest. It's not our business to track and to tell you detailed ways. We'll provide them. And at the same time, just like when a preacher gets up to preach before his Sunday church, and he has a message in mind, and then the Holy Spirit drops in the room and the message goes a completely different way. That is how I liken and look at our spiritual tools. You understand?
Yes.
Regeneration. It really was created and crafted with the intention of pulling you back into the primordial womb of the mother, back into the primordial waters, and regenerating your skin, regenerating your limbs, which we all have the power to do. We've just forgotten. The planet, we're watching the planet regenerate itself as well. And regeneration doesn't feel good. And even when a snake is shedding its skin, it's uncomfortable.
That's what
It's
I
completely
did.
uncomfortable. It's painful. Most of the times they stay rooted in one spot as to not move, to not create friction. And so I think that your description, mind you guys, I've never really, shared or talked too much about these products except for the little blurbs that I give. And so for you to even be able to articulate regeneration in the way that you did without us ever really having a clear conversation about it really shows you not only the power of the tool, but it shows you the power of the self, of you, and surrendering to whatever the process and whatever the experience needed to be for you. You understand what I'm saying? So
our intention can only go but so far.
Yeah.
Right?
Fact.
You gotta have your own intention, kind of like what you were talking about. You gotta have your own actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put in your own work. So nobody can do the work for you. You do some of the work in terms of creating the tools for you to take and use yourself. But yeah, we're not trying to train you or anything like that. We may suggest ways to use it, but it's honestly up to you how you use it, because it's for your work, for your purpose, for you.
Right. And speak your intention, you all. And that's why in my kit, speak your intention. When you receive it, it's already been blessed, but also speak to it as well. And I want to kind of go back when I said about the pain, because some people, when they hear pain, they're like, ooh, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to touch that. No, it's necessary. For me, that was my experience. I had to shed some things. I had some things deep within that I had to shed. And that's when I spoke intention over this and I said, do what you need to do, right? That is what took place for me. And it's better for you to shed it in that way than life coming and shedding it for you.
That's right. That's right.
This is so much more beneficial.
Ooh, that is.
You make the choice to do it yourself as opposed to somebody doing it for you. That's right.
Yes.
That was a word.
Make that choice.
Yes.
Because it never feels good if somebody's doing it for you.
Facts.
Facts. You can make the choices to be in control of your own life and your own destiny. Period.
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
you cannot do anything and just let everything happen to you.
That is.
Choose one. Which one sounds better?
Either way is gonna happen. Either way, life is gonna
Something's gonna happen. You just gotta make the choice.
Facts.
And so Zen, as we close out this week's episode of Tuesday's Tea, what is one intention that you would leave in Life Verb that you would like to leave with our sanctuary family today? One life verb that we can take with us and that can really teach us throughout this next month. What is an intention that you would like to give to the sanctuary?
An intention that I would like to give is to live limitless. Live limitless. Get out of your own way. And if you need help doing that, The consultation's free. Contact me, and also utilize the Holland's amazing tools. The answers are in front of you. And the reason why the Hollands and I do what we do, we genuinely do it because we're living in purpose. And this is what we love to do. Yeah. It's not about the ching ching. Okay?
Come on.
Right? It's literally because we want to heal the land. We want to heal our communities, right? I'm tired of seeing my women and my men live in this matrix, live in this falsity. It's time to break free. It's time to know thyself and own thy power. Because when you know thyself and you own your power, baby, okay.
That gave me chills just listening to
the abundance.
Okay?
The abundance.
That gave me chills just listening to you say that.
That was good.
Tell us where we can find you, Zen, how
right.
they can contact you.
How to find you.
Tell us all your social media handles. Tell us everything where people can reach you on Kai's website and all that good stuff. Let us know where the people can find you, sis.
Awesome. So you can find me on Instagram. So it's @ of course, Life Verbs with an S podcast. Life Verbs podcast. You can also go to my website, www.lifeverbspodcast.com. You can also, where's my other phone here? Hold on.
No, take your time. You good.
You can also text me, but let me get you that number. I just got a text line. Okay, hold up. Let me get you that number though.
That's right, the public text number.
The public text, okay, number. Actually, just go to my profile because I don't have it memorized. But this is the phone, okay? It does come straight to me. It's in my bio. 470 is the area code, and that's all I got. But it is in the bio. You can text me as well. Text me for a life tip if you're interested in your 1-hour free consultation with me, because trust me, it's very transformative. And I also do implement the natal chart within that, aspects of the natal chart. We get to your Chiron.
Oh,
right?
Yes, that's okay. That. Come on, we talking about that hurt wound.
That struggle wound.
Come on.
Okay, that wounded self. Okay, we get into it. So if you're interested in that, the link is in my bio on my Instagram, or just DM me. You can also listen to the podcast there as well.
And did you tell us where they can find you on YouTube too? Because I know you guys are on there.
Oh yes, YouTube, Life Verbs Podcast. Everything is Life Verbs Podcast except for Clubhouse. Clubhouse is Life Verbs Co. and join us. Yes. We're going to be on Clubhouse tomorrow at 8 p.m. So come join us.
Is it every Wednesday, Zen, or every Thursday that y'all are on Clubhouse?
Yes, it's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then Kai and I go live every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Y'all, we're active.
Awesome. They really are. They are active. They are consistent. They are always bringing.
And you talk about everything.
They do.
They bring everybody.
They bring a host of phenomenal topics. They always have wonderful guests that they bring on as well. It's just really good. Just inspiring content that makes you think, content that challenges you. Content that also allows you to laugh and to have fun and to not take yourself so seriously. And so I encourage you guys to get with our favorite life coach, Coach Zen, and everything that she has going on. I want to thank you, sis, for taking the time to join us today here on Tuesday's Tea. I thank you for sharing space with us. We do not take it for granted. We are just so proud of you and just inspired by the work that you do. And we are just so grateful and honored to have you a part of our tribe. And
yes.
No, I just want to say thank you again, just for jumping on. Yes. It's been a pleasure working with you and knowing you for these past few months. And we absolutely love and appreciate all the support that you give us. We always see you jumping into our lives and everything like that. And we just want to say thank you for always doing that.
Even late in the midnight hour, okay? I was with Rue last night in the midnight hour on that live, okay?
Every time she's like, honey, because we know that Rue could be drinking it sometimes, okay? With the time. Okay.
Definitely. And thank you. I just want to give y'all your roses really quickly. Thank you, Holland. I absolutely, and I say this from the genuineness and all the crevices of my heart, I love you too so much. You ladies are amazing. Y'all on the podcast, the YouTube page, I put on their commercial every episode because I'm like, the world needs to know, okay, about the Hollands and Holland spices. And I'm just so thankful because how I found y'all is I found y'all through Novi.
Yeah.
She did an unboxing and I'm like, what is this? And I immediately went to the website. I'm like,
yes.
I got connected.
And that's so funny because when she did that unboxing, we didn't even know.
Yeah.
Really?
Do it.
Yeah. It was, a whole lot happened.
A whole lot too.
Yeah. We didn't even know.
We didn't. Like she meeting her.
Like, oh my gosh! Like what's happening?
Yeah. Like meeting Novi and creating our partnership with her. The Garden of Consciousness that you guys can still have access to. The Instagram page is still around. So you guys can always go on there if you are looking for your natal chart readings and all of things related to astrology. I do encourage you guys to head on over to thegardenofconsciousness.com.
They're amazing.
Book your natal chart readings with Novi. She's on TV. You guys know y'all can find her on Sisters, BT, Tyler Perry's #1 cable syndicated show right now. So she's not acting. Sis is holding down the astrological world. She is reading the people for the gods. And so I encourage you guys to go over there. And her support to Holland Spices, her and Malcolm's support to Holland Spices has been transforming for us. And it truly has elevated Holland Spices and put us in the view of people who maybe wouldn't have been so privileged to have a chance to learn about us and to know what we do.
We say privilege because we know what we do is on purpose, and it's exactly how it's supposed to be. And that
yes, it is.
Finally makes it to the people, to the hands that it's meant to. They're going to appreciate and love it as much as we do, and they'll understand the intention that we put into it. So
they put so much intention. Get your life right, okay? With Holland Spices, intentional.
We love
spiritual tools. Okay.
We love you, Zen. We're gonna close us out with our theme song with Tuesday's
Yes, I'm ready.
I invite you to close out with us. We thank y'all for joining us here at the Sanctuary. I invite you guys to join us next week with another special guest that we're going to be getting into what I like to affectionately call Music Mancy, and that's really working. Truly, we're going to be delving into how to use music with intention, into how to use music in order to benefit everything that you're doing in a way that is going to elevate you and not displace us, which we're really seeing now that the music is really going in a way. And really, if you look back over time, it's always been kind of going in a way that hasn't been super effective to our people. But we're going to be delving into Music Mancy, so I encourage you guys to join us back here next Tuesday for Tuesday's Tea. Zen, we love you. We thank you for coming on. And we thank y'all. Thank you for being flexible.
Of course.
Thank you guys, to everybody who sat with us on this live and shared energy with us. And hello to everybody who will watch the playback.
That's right.
This has been our week's episode of Tuesday's Tea.
Oh, this is my song.
I'm going to bid you guys to have a beautiful, beautiful day. Come on and dance out with us, okay?
Yes, I love this theme song.
I love this song. Wait a minute, I love it so much that I got it muted. What's in your brew, tea?
What's in your brew? Tuesday's tea. What's in your brew? Tuesday's tea. What's in your brew? Tuesday's tea. What's in your brew?
Tuesday's tea. Bye, everybody.
What's in your brew?